Hello and welcome to another edition of For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. My guest today is CJ Nunson, the president and general manager of the Connecticut Tigers. CJ has been to our studio a couple of times, but it's high time we got out to the ballpark and did a show with you out here. So thanks for having us here today.
Oh yeah, welcome to Dodge Stadium. You guys picked a beautiful day. It's absolutely sunny and gorgeous here. And great day for baseball.
And it's game night, as a matter of fact, isn't it? You can hear maybe in the background, they're getting the field is just impeccable, by the way. And you have a game tonight, right?
We do, yeah. We're actually taking on the Tri-City Valley Cats, which are the Houston Astros affiliate. And we're home for a long homestand. So if people haven't been to Dodge Stadium in a while, definitely got to come check it out.
Now, I just recently did a radio interview with you, and that was for opening night. Perfect timing. How did the season kick off? How was it?
Oh, it was absolutely perfect. We had a great crowd. We actually had a rainbow over center field. We did have a little bit of a rain delay, but I'll tell you, it kicked off great. You know, so the crowds are coming back to Dodge Stadium, and I can't believe baseball season's upon us.
It is here. So let's talk about the Connecticut Tigers. Let's talk about the league. Who are they, and what kind of talk about the league too.
We're the single A short season affiliate of the Detroit Tigers. We play 76 games in 80 days, so lots of baseball. The guys only get 4 days off.
Wow.
And the league was founded in 1939, so it's a New York Penn League. There's 14 teams that comprise the league, all affiliated with the other major league teams. So we play the Boston Red Sox, which are out of Lowell, Massachusetts, Brooklyn Cyclones, Staten Island Yankees. We got the Phillies. We've got all sorts of great baseball, great teams here. And this year we'll travel about 5,000 miles, really all across the Northeast.
So if you're a fan of one of the other local teams, whether it be the Red Sox or Yankees or whoever, you can come here to Dodge Stadium in Norwich, Connecticut, and see maybe some potential future stars on your local teams, or even players that could end up in Detroit, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. The guys that have been through the New York Penn League over the years are names like Wade Boggs, Randy Johnson. The Hall of Fame quarterback John Elway actually played in the league back in the late 70s, early 80s. And then, recently, Jonathan Papelbon, Kevin Youkilis, Curtis Granderson, all those guys. And the guys that are playing for us, kind of the rule of thumb is, 4 or 5 years later, they'll make it up to the bigs and could be up there for a quick cup of coffee, or could be up there for a Hall of Fame career.
So this is, the Connecticut Tigers is single A. And so, yeah, it's kind of like when they're, early on in their career. Was that the best way to describe it?
Yeah, we get most of our players out of the Major League Baseball draft, which starts in early June. And Detroit tries to sign them as quickly as they possibly can. A lot of the guys are playing in the College World Series, and they sign their contracts and start their professional careers right here in Connecticut.
Now, the timing of when the season starts for you, it's advantageous in the sense that, like, for example, if someone is graduating from college right around the June timeline, they literally graduate from college and kind of ease their way in and start the season here, basically?
Yeah, it's a lot of baseball, especially the guys that are coming out of college where they might have played 50, 60, 70 games already, and then they come here and continue to play baseball. And these guys are playing ball every single day. They really only get 4 days off, and so especially the college guys, you can kind of see their bodies get a little worn out by mid to late July, might go on the DL for a little bit, but these guys are learning to be professional baseball players and playing baseball just about every day.
And minor league baseball is such a fantastic family event to go to. Everything is so approachable to fans. Dodge Stadium, which we'll get into in a minute, is a gorgeous facility. But when you're at this level, you're very approachable, and you sign baseballs and you get to meet the people, right?
Yeah, the guys love signing autographs. It could be, especially on the opening day, that could have been the first time they've had a chance to sign an autograph for fans. So you're not sure who's more excited, the kid receiving it or the player giving it. But it's great because you get a chance to see these guys really start their careers. We got a first-round draft pick, Jonathan Crawford. He's here with us. Justin Verlander's younger brother, Ben Verlander's on our roster. And Jim Leland's son, Patrick Leland, is back with us again. He was here 2 years ago as a catcher. He got converted to a DH and first baseman. So a lot of familiar names, and these guys, you'll get a chance to see them. And as we said earlier, we play the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, the Phillies, the Indians, all those guys. So if you're a baseball fan, you can get a chance to watch these guys as they make it up to the majors.
If you potentially get an autograph from them now, imagine what the value of that would be if they, make the majors someday.
Yeah, and these guys are the best of the best, and we get players from all over the world, and it's interesting to see the dynamic in the clubhouse. Many languages are being spoken. These guys are really competing, for positions. And so it's really, a very competitive atmosphere.
Talk about your coach as your manager for the Connecticut Tigers.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to have our manager back for his third year, Andrew Graham. He's actually from Australia, so he's an Aussie. And
you hear the accent and everything?
Definitely. And we actually created a burger last year called the Andrew Graham Burger, which we serve at the Burger Barn here at the ballpark. It's a beautiful hamburger topped with habanero cheese and also a pineapple, and we serve it upside down since he's from Australia.
That's great. Is it popular? Doing well?
It's very popular, yeah. So people really enjoy the Andrew Graham Burger. Andrew does a great job as our manager. He's joined by our hitting coach, Mike Ribello, played for a few years in the majors, so he's really helping our guys starting to hit. And then Mark Johnson, MJ, we call him, is our pitching coach. He was actually here in 1999 as a Norwich Navigator. So, he's familiar with Dodge Stadium and the Norwich area, so it's great for him to come back and be a coach when he was a player. And he made it up to the majors, too, with the Tigers.
Now, since you mentioned the Norwich Navigators, we'll kind of jump around a little bit on the show today. And one of the things I wanted to mention or ask you about was Tater the Gator, who was the original Norwich Navigators mascot. And so that team moved out and left, and, the statue was kind of abandoned. And that's one of the first things you see. You've resurrected Tater the Gator, and it's one of the first things that you see when you arrive at Dodge Stadium. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, really, the great thing about baseball is history. People love history, and baseball is a great sport and really tradition with history. When we got into the market here, we actually moved into the ballpark on April 1st, 2010, so April Fool's Day, which is very apropos for us.
Right.
And one of the first things we noticed was the old Tater statue is all beat up, and we found him in the woods. And
talk about just tossing him away, on your way out.
Yeah. And so we figured that we would put him in storage for a little bit and really kind of figure out the time to put him in our starting lineup. And so that was in 2011 when we unveiled the statue again. He was a Connecticut Tigers uniform, and we unveiled him on Norwich Navigators Night, where once a year we change our name to the Norwich Navigators and wear old school Navigator uniforms, and people really love it. So he's out front of Dodge Stadium for every day.
And it's beautiful, too. And you did a great job at restoring him to his original beauty. It's fantastic. Now, in front of Dodge Stadium, let's talk about Dodge Stadium for a minute, because when you moved in here, now I would imagine that as a single-A club, not every club like that gets the luxury of moving into a stadium which was designed for a higher level. I think the Navigators were AA. So you got your hands on Dodge Stadium, and talk about this facility. It is fantastic.
Yeah, it really is an outstanding ballpark. When they designed it and built it and opened up in 1995, they did it perfect. Great sight lines, really no poles to block obstruction. Any seat in the house is a great seat. And really, it's all sorts of stuff happens here at Dodge Stadium. You have concourses which are above ground. Mm-hmm. So really, when you enter, fans will enter at street level.
Yeah.
And then walk in and you can see the beautiful green grass. You can probably notice it behind us. And it's just an outstanding place for baseball. And it is tucked up in a kind of a outlying location in the business park. But people don't expect to see such a great facility when they turn the corner and drive down the driveway.
Maybe that is a good thing, though, that it's where it is, because whenever you have a big facility, there's the possibility of certain neighbors that won't be happy about it. But here, and we'll get into this in a little bit too, you can have fireworks displays. We'll talk about the zip lining. You could do so many things, and you're not really bothering anybody. Neighbors.
Yeah, it's great to be inside the industrial park. Because it allows us the opportunity to really try different things. Like fireworks. Every Friday night that we're home, we have great fireworks shows which people really love, and that's definitely a popular night for us. We started to explore some concerts, and then actually this fall, in one of our parking lots, we're going to be hosting the Connecticut Renaissance Fair. So we're going to be turning a parking lot into Camelot, and so it should be a great experience. So that's the one thing about Dodge Stadium allows us to do is host a lot of high school, college baseball events, a lot of community and charitable events. Because really, at the end of the day, it is a baseball stadium, but really it's a community event for people to enjoy.
And we're going to be at that Renaissance Fair, by the way. Can't wait to experience that. Just one of the many things here at Dodge Stadium. But what's the seating capacity here, by the way?
We can hold about 6,500.
Okay.
For a concert, we can hold about 10,000 people. So it's a nice, large facility. It's got great wide concourses. We have beautiful picnic areas for people to have corporate picnic outings or events. Great luxury suites upstairs. we have 14 suites, and then we also have a great bar and restaurant called the Yard Bar and Grill located at the suite level. So it really is a great place to enjoy.
You know, there are much bigger stadiums, ballparks that will install like those bleacher seats, but these are all individual seats. That's one thing that I love about, first of all, it's great. You have a great seat no matter where you are, but you know, time and effort and you know, things were put into it, little things like that where everybody gets their own seat that, you know, someone like me appreciates. You know, when you bleacher seats, I know it's an inexpensive way to add seating, but you know, you're sitting on benches basically.
Yeah, you know, and fans, you know, our most expensive seat that we offer in the seating bowl is $10. So
that's the most expensive.
That's the most expensive,
yeah.
And you know, so you can get a front row seat for $10. It's a nice, large, comfortable seat, and it just allows you the opportunity to kind of enjoy the baseball game. Maybe walk upstairs and get a hot dog and a beer, or just walk around. I mean, we've got great new stuff at the ballpark as well. You know, we're actually one of the first baseball teams and baseball parks in the entire nation to have a zip line. So we have a zip line that operates every weekend home game, which is very popular with the kids and also our fans. We've been able to open up and create a concession stand for Phillies, a Taste of Philadelphia, which is the world famous cheesesteak place right here in Norwich. And they were featured on the Travel Channel as having one of the best cheesesteaks in the nation. You know, so they're here this year. We have a PBR retro beer bar, which is another new addition. So people can get Pabst Blue Ribbon, they can get Ballantine Ale, Schaefer or Schlitz. So, and we're seated right now at one of the newest locations at the ballpark called Southpaws, which is a little bar that you can see has great sight lines and great place to enjoy a beverage.
And you are also, Dodge Stadium will be hosting the All-Star Game this year, correct?
We are. That's taking place on Tuesday, August 13th. So that's a great feather in our cap. With this being our 4th season in the market, it's great to be awarded the All-Star Game. So tickets are on sale. Our tickets are moving fast, and it'll allow fans the opportunity to see the top prospects in the league and really the best players in the league. So these are the time to come out, get some autographs, and see the guys, because a lot of those guys, you know, 3 or 4 years from now, will be up in the majors, and they'll be up there for a long time.
Now, the stadium, did that have something to do with the fact that the All-Star Game was here just because it's such the facility as it is, or how does it go? Do you go into some kind of a lottery system to get it?
Yeah, you need to submit a bid with the league, and then it gets voted on by the owners. And you know, so I think they've really seen that the community is starting to embrace us, that the ballpark's in great shape, and so it's just a great opportunity for us to kind of showcase really to the entire league and to the Northeast what's happening here at Dodge Stadium.
So you mentioned the zip line, concerts, you know, high school and college baseball. You can even switch sports. You're going to have soccer here for the first time, correct?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to start getting into the soccer business and hosting some high school games, some potentially college games right here. You know, and why not? I mean, it's a beautiful beautiful pitch out there, and you know, no pun intended.
But you're going to have to, it'll be odd for you. You won't understand those odd lines that'll be on the field. They're not the baseball lines. This is a soccer pitch. So.
That's right, yeah. But, you know, and that's kind of the great thing about it. And that's really what our mission statement is to provide, you know, really affordable, fun entertainment options for families and for people. It just doesn't have to be baseball.
Right. You can take the drive if you want to go to a major league facility of any sport. It's very expensive. You know, when you add up the cost, if you're going to bring the whole family, whereas Connecticut Tigers, a minor league baseball stadium, I mean, you know, you have package deals for hot dogs and popcorn and stuff like that. Bring the whole family, and like you said, the most expensive seats are only $10.
Yeah. I mean, we have great promotions every single day. Today actually is Tuesday, so it's $1 hot dog brought to you by KM. So every dog that we have in the house is $1, which is great. Every Wednesday is family 4-pack, so for $40 you get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, and a box of popcorn. So it's one of the best deals in town. Thursdays is definitely a tasty treat for everybody. It's $2 Bud Light, so it's Thirsty Thursdays, and we have live music here. Fridays is a very popular day with post-game fireworks. Saturdays, which is new, which we started experimenting with last year, which has been a huge hit, is major giveaways on Saturdays. So we do everything from bobbleheads to mouse pads, to, giveaway hats, all sorts of stuff on Saturdays. Then we wrap up the week on Sundays where kids can run the bases. They get a free coupon to Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and then they can play catch and get a free baseball in the outfield courtesy of Falvey's. So all sorts of great stuff happening at the ballpark. And then Mondays is Kids Eat Free. Kids eat free, so 12 and under, they get to come to the ballpark and eat for free. So great deals out there.
I'll have to figure out a way to look 12 or under so I can get in that day. So there's opportunities for kids to actually get down on the field itself.
Yeah, you know, without a doubt. And that's really what we want, is we want kids going on the field and getting autographs and playing catch and really, you know, start to live their dream of being a professional baseball player.
And that's just some of the examples of the fabulous facilities here at Dodd Stadium and all the different things that are going on aside from just baseball. And another thing that I like as we tape in 90-plus degree weather today, the majority of your games are in the evening, correct?
They are. We play most of our games at 7:05 Monday through Saturday. And then on Sundays, we basically have afternoon games, so starting at 4 o'clock, so it's perfect. So it allows people a chance to get their house chores done and mow the lawn, and then come on out to round out their weekend on a Sunday to catch some baseball.
Now, if there happens to be a rain out, do you usually do like a double header to make up and fix that situation?
Yeah, usually if we're playing that team the next day, then it'll be a double header. If we get rained out and it's a getaway day, meaning the day that they're leaving, getting out of town, then we'll try to reschedule for the next time they come into town.
How do you cram, if they only get 4 days off to begin with, and you do have some rain issues, how do you cram those games into that very limited amount of time?
It can be challenging sometimes, and with some of the weather sometimes here in Connecticut, as viewers realize, you never know. I mean, it could change every 5 minutes, and with hot days like today, there could be pop-up thunderstorms here or there, but that's why we have a great tarp, and thank goodness for radar. Radar makes our lives a little easier, but you never know what's going to happen.
So let's talk about the league itself, the Penn League, because it is historic. You mentioned earlier some of the players that came through, but get a little bit more specific with some of the teams and the cities that they're in.
Yeah, we travel as far north as Burlington, Vermont, which was the old club that I was with the Vermont Lake Monsters in Burlington. We travel as far west as Niles, Ohio, where we face the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, which are the Cleveland Indians affiliate. We travel as far south as Aberdeen, Maryland, where we take on Cal Ripken's baseball team, the Aberdeen Ironbirds. And then we travel as far east as Lowell, Massachusetts, where we take on the Boston Red Sox. And next year happens to be the 75th anniversary of the New York Penn League. And so you'll start to hear some of the teams changing their names, for a homestand or two, to really recognize old baseball teams throughout the Penn League. And it's an interesting trend. Right around the mid 90s or so, when minor league baseball started getting very popular, a lot of the facilities in towns would try to draw teams. And so back in the old days, in the New York Penn League, there was teams in Elmira, New York, Utica, New York, Geneva, New York. So
just a lot of them close
together.
together.
Of them close together, and now the geography has really started to spread out a little bit, which makes busing a little tougher. But really, it allows communities to house New York Penn League teams in beautiful facilities. And the Penn League is just a fantastic league because it's one of the best leagues in baseball. In 2002, we actually created a 501c3 to really help give back to communities that house New York Penn League. So every year we award $7,500 in scholarships for graduating seniors heading off to college. And so it's things like that we're able to pool our resources and give back to the communities that really support us so well.
We talked about how great Dodd Stadium was. There's some stadium, one of the oldest stadiums in the country is in the Penn League.
Yeah, which is Centennial Field. So it was built in 1906, or the field was built in 1906. The existing structure was built in 1922. And so you go from Dodd Stadium, which is just a very modern stadium,
yes,
to Centennial Field, which really does not have a lot of fan amenities, but it's still great history, and the players love to play there as well.
Yeah, you can feel it. I mean, it's okay that it doesn't have those amenities because you feel baseball there, don't you?
Yeah, you really, it kind of reminds you of watching the Robert Redford film The Natural.
Yep.
It's a very old school ballpark, and that's what baseball is great is you have great brand new facilities, you have old facilities, and you have guys that have played in the Penn League, that come back and might be coaches. Mark Johnson, he was actually coaching in Oneonta, where our franchise moved from. So he was. It was kind of interesting for him to be in Oneonta years ago, be a player for Norwich Navigators '99, and then now be here as a coach in 2013.
It's a small world, isn't it?
That's what baseball is. It's a
Yep.
small world, and everybody knows everybody, and it's a great thing because they all have great stories, and it's a unique business.
One of the things that we were talking about off the air when we were talking about the Penn League and being in this area of the country and weather being what it is, some damage to some of the ballparks during like Superstorm Sandy and things like that.
Yeah, Superstorm Sandy really affected a lot of our ballparks. Really Staten Island, which is right on obviously in Staten Island, that ballpark got flooded. The Brooklyn Cyclones, which is right on Coney Island.
Well, you could see the Ferris wheel, no amusement park there,
Yeah,
basically.
right there, and that basically that whole field got destroyed. And so they actually ended up putting 100% turf field in over the offseason, which allows them to really get a lot of more games in, not based off of weather. And then they also do a lot of concerts, and so field turf it tends to be starting to get pretty popular again. Just went back to like the 70s and 80s with the AstroTurf.
But that was awful. That was just like, it was sitting basically like cement with like, some kind of moss over the top of it. It's really come a long way. Mostly football and soccer had to deal with the turf versus grass issue, I think more so than baseball now, but now baseball is starting to see, if you're a multi-purpose stadium, that's something that I guess you have to consider, right?
Yeah, you definitely need to run the numbers and figure out if that's really the direction you want to move in. Some of this, the field turf can drain just a tremendous amount of water in a quick time period.
I think they've come a long way with the technology too.
Yeah.
I know players still, would prefer to be on grass, and I understand that. But I think this FIFA 2-level field turf that they have, I think it's like a Gillette Stadium or something like that. I mean, it's like, it almost feels like you're on grass.
Yeah, a lot of times it's really tough for people to play. From visually, it looks almost identical to grass. Us being kind of baseball traditionalists, we love playing baseball on the grass. It does take us a lot of time and a fair amount of money and effort to keep the ballpark and the field looking great, but it really makes a big difference to offer and play on grass.
And it looks right now, I know there's a game tonight, but it's like in absolutely perfect, pristine condition. It's something you just want to take a picture of, because it's just, you're a grounds crew. If you want to talk about them for a moment, they're amazing.
Yeah, we have Brian Barkley, who's our Director of Stadium Operations and Turf Management, and his assistant, Ryan Leffler. Those guys really are spearheading the effort of the field and the ballpark. And I'll tell you, that's a great thing, when a little kid walks through the gate and he can smell popcorn in the air and hear music on the concourse, and then looks out on the field for the first time. That definitely really is what baseball's all about.
Talk about the playoff system in the Penn League and for the Connecticut Tigers and their potential.
Well, we have 3 divisions in the Penn League. Basically, the best team in each division, so the top 3 teams, are guaranteed a playoff spot, and then there's 1 wild card. So only 4 teams out of the 14 will end up getting a playoff berth. And we've been really close over the past 3 years, so hopefully 2013 is kind of our year for us. And it's a quick 3-game set for semifinals, 3-game set for the finals, and then hopefully we win the New York Penn League Championship and get our guys some rings.
As far as the All-Star game goes, unlike Major League Baseball, there isn't any, as far as winning it, it's just basically how do they decide who plays who? Is it one conference versus a division? How does that work?
Yeah, it's actually American League versus National League teams. And most of the players are selected by the coaching staff and also officials from the league office. And it really is. These guys are just the best of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, they're first-round guys, second-round guys that you're going to see playing Major League Baseball. And it's just a great exhibition. And it's always fun to see who shines. And our guys in the past few years from the Connecticut Tigers have always done really well.
And if there's a time where someone can't get out to the park, if they want to watch a game, they can listen on the radio?
They can listen on the radio. They can go right to our website at cttigers.com. And our website is just fantastic.
Let's talk a little bit more about that, because they can find everything they need on the website, right?
Yeah, basically anything they ever want to know about the Connecticut Tigers, any of our players, photos, stories, information about Dodge Stadium. They could purchase merchandise online. Really, it's a great one-stop resource for the Connecticut Tigers. And people can also sign up for our email newsletters. They can follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, so it's
you're
really,
on all the social media, aren't you?
We're in all of it, yeah. So it's which is great, because people, love to take pictures, and we love people to take pictures and tweet about it.
And this show will be uploaded to our YouTube page, so you'll be able to watch it there, and maybe you guys can link to it if you'd like.
Definitely.
Because anything we can do to help you out and get the word out about the Connecticut Tigers, because this is a great organization and a great place to bring the family and enjoy an evening. So one more time on the website.
Website's cttigers.com for all the information. And if people haven't been to Dodge Stadium in a while, we definitely encourage you guys to make a trip up here. The ballpark's never looked better. It's great baseball, and it's very affordable, safe, family atmosphere.
CJ Knudsen, the president and general manager of the Connecticut Tigers here in Norwich, Connecticut. Pleasure, and we thank you for inviting us out to your home today, and check it out. It's beautiful. Thanks.
Well, thanks for joining us, Sean. Really appreciate it.
And we thank you for joining us for another edition of For the Record. Again, you can watch this show and many others on our YouTube site. In the meantime, I'm Sean Murphy. We'll see you next time. Take care.